Welcome to episode 518 of Fourth and Jawn. I'm Gail Saunders with Evan Hollywood Hearn, Mr. Luciano, Lucky Luciano. We were talking about the Birds Take the L episode. This is a tough pill to swallow. It's been for you old heads. You know, you've had losses in multiple seasons. I mean, for you newcomers around here, for you new Eagle fans who have jumped on the bandwagon or so, it's it's weird to say it's been a long time since we've lost a game. But to say that, um, you know, it's soul crushing. I'm not gonna say it's a soul crushing L. I'm gonna be honest on that final drive when our Eagles were, driving down the field. I actually said to myself, we don't deserve to win this game. I always talk about our Eagles playing with their food. I thought it was a game where it was very winnable. I felt like fourth quarter, I was like, yeah, 17-3. I'm feeling good about myself. I'm feeling good about the Eagle fans in there to give this team a little jolt because I wasn't even at the game. So I felt a different way watching the game in a bar. Shout out to PJ Dolan. I was at Dolan's bar of all places, randomly. Haven't watched the Eagles game at a bar in probably like. It's been a while. But different feeling. But the same vibe about this Eagles offense has reared its ugly head. It's like that GTA meme. Oh shit, here we go again. Can the Eagles play more than a half of football? Cohesively in a football game. We've had halves, great halves. We haven't had a full game of great play calling. Can the Eagles execute? Can the Eagles not be penalized 5 times in the fourth quarter? We talked about all the flags, the unnecessary penalties, the unnecessary roughnesses. We're looking at a team that's kind of undisciplined when it comes to the detailed kind of things that Sirianni speaks to every week. A detail-oriented football team. I think right now we're just not that. We're just not that dude. And I think being 4-1 in this situation, the positive here is we can get a get-right game with the Giants. I'm not downplaying the Giants, but I'm saying it's opportunity to get right. And if you saw the tweet from Jimmy Kempski talking about the meeting of the minds with Saquon Barkley and A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts, I think that's the most positive thing that I've heard the last couple of days. I think that loss had to happen. And now it's where do we go from here? I mean, Evan, how do you feel? Where do we go from here, Ev?
It's like an onion. There's a lot of layers to peel back. I think that this loss was inevitable. Like you can't just keep on. This would have been what, the 20th win in a row, including the postseason last year. So you have to lose eventually. It just has to happen. I think one thing that we talk about as Eagles fans every year is the losing a game to an opponent that you shouldn't lose to. That tends to be a common thread. No matter how successful we are in any given year, we tend to cough one up to a team we shouldn't lose to. But I think the thing that is making most people uneasy is the fact that, one, we went into this game 4-0 with chemistry problems. It's a weird thing to be coming off winning a Super Bowl, to be 4-0 in the following season, and to have this weird tension in the locker room that everybody can feel, but not a lot of people want to address directly. The whole thing being with Jalen and AJ Brown. I do think a big part of that is being blown, possibly out of proportion by the media constantly talking about this, but there's something there. There's something you could tell that AJ is unhappy. He's made it clear that he's unhappy in this given situation. And the other fact, other than the tension, is that we just completely went unanswered in that game. We went up and we were up 17-3 in the third quarter. And then we ended up just letting up, what is that? 18 unanswered points. With just no response at all from the offense. The defense was kind of able to get some stuff done, but for Bo Nix to come in here and kind of march his way back to a comeback victory in the Link, which is supposed to be this place that teams don't want to play at. It's a tough watch. So I think that those two factors for me is what making me feel most uneasy. I will. Sorry, I know I'm going on and on here. The Thursday get right game, I completely agree with you there. I think that if we're looking at the positive note in this, we got Jackson Dart coming in here, who was a rookie quarterback who has just really starting in his career. So there's a couple games of tape on him. He's played a little bit risky and sloppy, and I think that that's how he'll come in here and play. And I think he'll make mistakes against this defense. So I think big chance to get right on Thursday, but cause for concern. There's things to be concerned about with this team.
I mean, Primo was at the game. I know you were in the thick of things, but I mean, overall, did you feel like in the fourth quarter the Eagles were going to lose that game?
I actually did. I think we're spoiled, man. I know I'm spoiled. I was spoiled with the winning streak. I was spoiled with all the wins that we've been seeing recently, and I'm pretty sure you guys were feeling the same way. Catching that L, it definitely didn't sit right, but it was just like, and you know what? I hate to tell you, but it's been a while since I felt like this. It's been a while since you felt that feeling of what a loss is. So yeah, I don't know. It's just a lot of things. One, it was Denver, not in our division, not hurting us in any way, but still, it was just like the pride to lose to those guys. Yeah, it still hurts. Yeah, I'm not out here scout. I'm actually multitasking, doing the show and watching my daughter cheerlead. Um, so yeah, it just at the end of the day, it sucks. But you mentioned earlier, it was something that I think we needed, and now maybe it's the time to go ahead and get that out of the way. And hey, what the hell? Let's start another streak. We talked about this last year. Matter of fact, I think we talked about this the last time we took an L. Like let's go on that winning streak. And shit, we almost hit 20 in a row, including playoffs and everything. So, the fact that these guys ended up grouping up this past week and having the conversation, I'm pretty sure you guys can agree with me. I wish I was the fly on the wall just to hear what the hell they had to talk about, because we all have our concerns out here of what's going on. Where's the chemistry at? You know what I mean? There's just a lot being said, and why and the reason behind that loss on Sunday. But look, it's the makeup game this Thursday. Jackson Dart, like Evan said, is a rookie. He's got a couple games under his belt. We'll see what he's about, but it just definitely goes to show you can't go into any game thinking we're gonna just go ahead and stomp you. Shit, I think at one point Evan is quick to go ahead and call a game like this the trap game, and here that was the trap game. That's what we felt. You know what I mean? So it is what it is, man. Just gotta go with it.
Mm-hmm.
No, I just feel you just gotta take the punches and roll with it. I think at some point you gotta figure out what you did wrong, and you figure out what this team is and who we are at this moment. I feel like defensively, I feel like we know who we are. I do know on defense we're a defense that can get a run on as we speak. But I do think,
Bend but don't break, though.
but like this, like the whole thing with the Broncos just really taking that win. Obviously I give credit to the Broncos, but like I felt there was moments in this game. You'll go back to the penalties, the play where Devontae Smith, Saquon was not set. Look at the play where AJ Brown and Jalen did not connect on that play.
Mm-hmm.
There's multiple opportunities, and let's not even get into the refs. And again, you never want to put the game in the hands of the refs, but when you look at the totality of the calls and the way that they were just the and again, like this is I'm anti AI right here, but I would totally take some AI refs in certain situations. Like if you're like we've been there as the Eagles football team in the Super Bowl, and like we saw a James Bradbury impede uh, the receiver getting the ball in a Super Bowl, and they called that. They called Skinner on a play on a 4th and 7 previously, and then you get down to a play that really could have shifted things in that game. And if you slow it down or you do it in fast motion, it doesn't either way you look at it, it's a flag. The picked up flag on the intentional grounding was like I know Zach Berman actually interviewed the guy that did the call on that, and that if you go back and listen to what he said, it's still like, dude, you just don't want the refs to be part of the narrative, and I thought they were.
I I hear what you're saying, and I agree with you that there were calls that were missed. There were calls that should have been called, calls that shouldn't have been called. However, the thing I can't get past is the 18 unanswered points. And so I view that, and I'm like, this wasn't lost because of one or two missed calls by the refs. This was lost because we gave up. And I think that one play, I love AJ to death. I think he is a true captain on this team. But if you watch that route that everyone's been talking about, it does look like he quit on it. It does look like he stopped running. And I hope that he is able to take that professionally as constructive criticism and realize that he was in the wrong for that and correct it and just come back next week and run out everything. I mean, that's what a professional does. And so, but there needs to be accountability here. You need to hold yourself accountable when you're in 4K and you're giving up on a route. I think what happened with this team, that was a microcosm of what happened with this entire team. There was a captain out here that gave up on a play, and then the entire team gave up 18 unanswered points, and they gave up, rolled over.
Play dead.
You couldn't have said it. You couldn't have said that any better, bro. Because I 100% agree with you. But Gail, I get it. The referees, the calls were very upsetting, but we should have never even been in that fucking position in the first place, man. We should have never been in that position. We shouldn't, we should have. We came into that second half with one nice offensive play that looked like was going to go ahead and start a nice run off of, destroying these guys in that second half. At least that was the attitude that I had when I saw the play kick off. You know what I mean? Like, all right, here we go. First half, second half started. We scored. Let's go. Let's run this thing. And then it just died down. It just completely died down. And it was just like, what the hell? What the hell transpired? The whole AJ thing. Like, yeah, I'm quick to agree with the fact that it just what happened there was, like what happened there was like, why all of a sudden you're gonna go ahead and die on the play like that, just give up and stuff. I didn't get it. I questioned that. He said it was because he lost the ball in the air and all that stuff. I don't know. I don't know what to believe, man. But you just gotta have better. You just gotta get better and have a better attitude in situations like that.
But that also goes back to a quarterback QB, a quarterback and wide receiver relationship. You see the guys working it out on the sideline. What did I do wrong? Where could I have been better? Like, what are you seeing on the your little what do they start? I still they
iPads or
your
the
iPads,
Microsoft
whatever
tablets they got. Yeah.
like what are you seeing? But the beats are like, and it goes back to the tweet. Like the beat writers are not going to like look at everything. Now they're looking at, do they talk on the sidelines? Now it's a whole thing. So everyone's realizing that they don't communicate on the sidelines. And for any wide receiver, I could tell you from every single level that I played on, I am in my quarterback's ear. I am in his ear on The weekdays, I am telling him, "Hey, you get me the rock, you get a free haircut. You want like I'm throwing incentive. Like we are talking, we are communicating." And if you go back to almost 9 months ago, when we sat here as a podcast and we're like, "Damn, BG, why are you talking? Why are you putting this out there about AJ and Jalen?" And you talk about AJ, you talk about Jalen. One is trying, and 11, which is AJ Brown. You like as a captain, like you. I'm not, and I'm. I've seen BG multiple times over the last. It's almost like just listening to the way he carries himself and the way he's very intentional about everything that he
You're
does.
saying AJ is
No, about BG. Like
BG.
if BG felt the need to say something so you know,
Salacious.
you were like, dude, like you did not have to say that, but he felt a need that he had to say that. He had to put it on Front Street so they could come together. And that was 9 months ago.
You took the thought out of my head, Gail, because this was exactly reminiscent of last year when all that happened. And we're sitting here on the podcast, not knowing all the information, that would transpire, that we end up winning the Super Bowl. Ultimately, I kind of view that moment in last year as kind of a glue type of moment. In the moment, it felt like, what the hell are you doing, BG? But now, hindsight's 2020. We come away, we win the Super Bowl. They got their shit together afterwards. It seems like that could have been the moment that saved the season last year. Is forcing these two to address their conflict. No BG in the locker room this year. There's some sort of beef that we don't know about, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know what the beef is. I'm not even sure. I'm not alluding to it being personal, anything like that. Maybe they just don't connect on the field. I don't know. But it seems to me like AJ Brown is putting out there that he's unhappy. And first of all, these are two captains that we're talking about here. We're talking about Jalen Hurts, a captain, AJ Brown, a captain. They need to get on the same page. And I think that who could be that guy in the locker room this year? It doesn't need to come out and say, hey, Jalen and AJ got beef, but to mend the fences. Who is the person on this roster that is going to take the lead and sit everybody down? Is Saquon?
I think it's Saquon Barkley. I think he's got the right demeanor for it. I think he's got the superstar status. Like his words hold weight. You've seen him on the sidelines through all the Super Bowl cut-ups. You've seen him be very intentional with like his words and what to say to some of these players, and the quinyons of like saying they're disrespecting by throwing at you. So he's dropping nuggets during the game. I think the fact that he's a captain, I mean, they're all captains. There's a certain way there's a certain way you conduct yourself if you're a captain of a football team. And I think that's important. Shout out to Shirley. She says, hey, fam, from your opinion, what is one main takeaway from this loss that could have changed the trajectory of the game for the Eagles?
I mean, you talked about in the beginning of the podcast the Eagles playing with their food, and that's kind of what I feel like happened. I feel like there was plenty of opportunity in that game to kind of just step on their neck and, played just kind of coy. Didn't step on their neck when we should have.
My opinion here is that the main takeaway is, AJ Brown talked about the team. Sometimes you gotta let your killers do what they do, kind of. But that requires a killer instinct, and when you, especially in the fourth quarter, that is like submit time. That is when you make your opponent submit. You're talking about the trenches. You're talking about
they did it last year.
Dominating the guy across from you, whether it be in the trenches, one-on-one man situations. You dominate your box, they say. And I think if you're gonna try and do that moving forward, I think we all have to be collectively buying into the killer instinct. And I think we've been here during the Steichen days. We've been here during the early times of um, you could say any offensive coordinator. We've been here in the first 5 weeks. There's always been questions. There's been questions of Sirianni. There's been questions of Patullo. If you listen to his pressers, you might think he works for a very corporate answers. Uh, Things are on fire, and he's like, we're out here doing our best we can. We're using water. We're using the strong hoses to put out the flames. Just trust that we'll get to it. Like it all reeks of um, damage control. But I'm not freaking out like the rest of Eagles Nation and national pundits. I mean, are you freaking out yet, Ev, in terms of Kevin Patullo?
No, I'm not freaking out yet, because I think that there have been things in Kevin Patullo's offense that I have seen and I have liked. I think that, especially going back to the previous game, the red zone creative plays to get Dallas Goedert the ball. I think that those wrinkles of the offense, that's good. I like that. I think that there isn't a big. I think he's trying to spread it. From what it seems, it's not like he's trying to create plays that really open up his stars. That being AJ and Devontae. Devontae got open obviously this week, but AJ's the squeaky wheel right now, and I think that there needs to be just you find a way to, every time AJ has the ball in his hands, he does something electric with it. He's an electric type of player, and that's what I think that a lot of people, when they talk about this whole issue, don't really consider, is that AJ Brown might not be putting up numbers, but he demands respect. And so he's going to take the attention of the top players in your opponent's secondary, regardless, because he's AJ Brown, and they know, the professional athletes on the field know, and the coaches know that he's one of the most dominant players on the field. So you have to respect him, even though he's not having the year that he's having. So that is benefiting the Eagles to an extent. But I understand AJ's point. Like, he's the guy. You know what I mean? He's the $25 million man. He wants the ball in his hands.
But there's multiple guys when you talk about Smitty, former Heisman, he's got a decorated resume.
Not AJ Brown though.
But he's the best route runner you have on this team. And if I'm Devontae Smith, knowing that I'm the best route runner on the team, and I can really route up anyone, and I have not Patrick Surtain, not PS2. I mean, when you're good, you get a nickname, PS2. We're talking about Riley Moss. I'm not saying Riley Moss, the other cornerback that went to Iowa, and the same complexion of, that was the first. Everyone was like, "Oh, Cooper DeJean." For Riley Moss, taught Cooper DeJean everything. Respectfully, still can't cover Devontae Smith. And I felt like Devontae Smith was getting busy. I thought that's where you need to go. Like, regardless, I would have gave Devontae Smith 15 targets, because I felt like he was routing up Riley Moss all day, and it is what it is.
Yeah, he was cooking. Devontae was cooking for sure, and he was fired up. I agree with your brother though. He talks about draw up some shorter routes, be creative, and I saw something about slants. Someone said something about slants. Model the Michael Thomas, the Marvin Harrison type. Just slant them to death with AJ. He'll kill him.
Yeah, I'm definitely going with the slants in that situation. I think that's, even though it's like, the slant's coming, you still can't. I think on the throw to AJ, ball placement was pretty off on that one. But shout out to Frank. He says teams built on the run, and they needed to be more balanced. The pass game was effective, but when you're up 17-3 in the fourth quarter, you run the effing ball. And I don't know if you guys have watched the SNL sketch. It's a very famous sketch, but they're talking about you need more cowbell. But I felt like this was a perfect time to reverse that phrase. You need more bell cow. Okay, you need more bell cow. And I think Saquon he's ready to ring the bell. Okay, you rely on your bell cow. Not 6 carries. The- it is and
It's
again
great.
RPOs could have been some runs. We dotted them up with the RPOs, which is very nice. Which is very nice. I felt like those RPOs, and you got Grant in the wings, also hurt, but you got Goddard in the wings. That those you could do those all day though.
But yeah, exactly. The RPOs. I think any sort of option play. Um, you look at what really has been the difference between the offensive this year and last year. I think the glaring thing is that the offensive line is not playing at the same level. Jalen doesn't have the same sort of protection. So RPOs. If you're running out to the side, these are plays that are beneficial to a weaker offensive line. You get outside the hash and pitch the ball to Saquon, something like that. You have to get the ball in the hands of your playmakers, and they're struggling to do so right now in positions that will make them successful.
I know they like to run a lot of inside zones and all that. I mean, get outside. Like when you're inside right now, it's Dickerson who's banged up, Cam
Might
Jurgens,
miss a couple weeks, Dickerson.
and I mean our last episode we talked about sitting. How can we sit Dickerson before he even got injured in this game? This
Mhm.
is a thing, and we're looking at the bye coming up. It's a thing. Like we're managing some injuries across the on the interior. Steen is not Becton, so I think Steen's holding on. He's holding on to. He's doing his best. I think he's not.
Mhm.
He hasn't been terrible, but he's not
Becton's
Becton.
been doing well out in LA.
Mm, but it is. It's tough. Shirley says one thing that has bothered me is how fast teams put behind the fact that they won the Super Bowl in order to move forward in the next season. Um, what do
I
you
think
think
you
about that?
gotta. I think you have to. You can't sit there and smell yourself. You have to. I feel like move on to the next season. Um, maybe I just don't understand. Charlie.
Yeah, I think it's a different mindset that you have to go into the new season with. I mean, like you said, you can't just go ahead and sit on that thinking like you're
For the shit.
untouchable or you're
Right.
too good. You know what I mean? So yeah, I agree with you, man. I think you definitely have to go into a new season with a different mindset.
Yeah, I mean, there's different guys on this team, and obviously, you're taking your experience that you gained from that journey, and then the new guys are part of the system. Everyone has to buy in. I think you got to hit the reset button. Now, cut me open. I bleed green says the AJ Sulk Fest is so getting old. Never seen a dude more miserable after so many wins. Um, I mean, a couple people had asked, why would you go to a preseason game to watch, be close to the sidelines? This is why I go. That's just because I just want to look at the body language of our players and how they interact. Because I'm such a nerd when it comes to stuff like this. Because this will tell you everything you need to know. Body language. You don't want to say anything. Your body language. We were in LA when we saw Devontae Smith sitting at the edge of the bench. So far that he removed himself from the edge of the bench and went to the very edge of the line. He was so disgusted in his targets. And like players will tell you without telling you if you just read their body language. And
So, so has AJ been reading the book this year for people that have been
no
at the
book,
game?
no
No
book.
book.
I haven't seen the book yet. Nope.
That's interesting.
Gail,
Dad said,
Gail had a good book with him on Sunday. He was about to
uh,
bring it out.
I had the Bible with me out at the tailgate. I was like, let me just start reading the Bible out here and see what you know. Romans 3:23 for all have sinned and come short of the glory of God. I'll hit you with some facts. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
But he brought out the book. He brought out the book, so that became a thing. So whatever he's, and I'm not. It's not a kill AJ podcast because we love AJ. It's just what it is. You catch an L after that week, well, you get some of the heat because it just is what it is.
What are you gonna do? We're Philadelphia.
Oh yeah, I mean, like I gotta listen
Take
to
your lumps. Take your
Seth
lumps.
Seth Joyner, gracefully said what he said, and AJ Brown, you know, went back at him, and I'm like, God, you're the cap. Like we just went through this, man. Just put the phone down, dog. Like just keep moving.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I'm telling you, the best thing that I heard today was the Jimmy Kempski. Well, read today was the Jimmy Kempski tweet about them getting together. I was like, this is great.
Mm-hmm.
This is wonderful.
Well,
Like this is wonderful.
I mean, if you think back to last year, the 2 losses in the first 4 weeks, that was another time where they needed to kind of come together and regroup and just talk about what are we not doing, how are we not connecting. So hopefully this is similar to that of last year after the loss to the Bucks. This is the get right meeting.
For the first time in a year or so, we're not giving away MVPs. How about that?
Wow.
No underdog performances, no offensive MVPs.
I got an honorable mention in the it's not an MVP, it's a why did we do it type thing. Let's talk about Tank Bigsby for a second. What is this guy contributing at all? What was the point of that?
I questioned that as I was in the stands. Like, I mean, I think Frank was sitting next to me at one point. Shout out to Frank, and then he was asking me, "Hey, what did we bring him in here for?" You know what? Good fucking question. What did we bring him in here for? Because he can't field the ball, he can't field a kickoff. He probably averages what, maybe a half a yard, 2 yards. I'm gonna be nice. Like it's ridiculous. I don't know. It's like the Rashad Penny thing all over again, but probably even worse.
And him on the kickoffs, there seems to be a huge miscommunication between him and Will Shipley. That like they're not understanding who should be taking the ball. Let's just let Will Shipley take it, man. He's at least doing something with it.
But do you think they're there looking at each other like, no, you get it, no, you get
and that's
it.
That's what it looks like from watching on TV.
This is why when I say Britton Covey receiving a football, when we talked about like regular return type things, these are like you don't have these issues. I'm not saying you have to have Britton Covey back there. I'm saying that guys that can successfully field punts, field kick returns without issues. This is what I'm talking about. But
you know what, Gail? I'm going to stand by we need to have Covey back there. So yes, bring Covey. Like I'm cool with bringing Covey back. Man.
These are just ridiculous. Fundamental things that get like overlooked about fielding kicks, and like you can't just throw anyone back there. But Tank Bigsby, you're I don't know if they not misdiagnosed, but thought Shipley was more hurt than that they were going to be without him for a longer period of time, and him being your RB3. I think that's where. But then Shipley came back in less than 3 weeks. Yeah. So now we're sitting here with 4 backs, and still you never.
I can tell you one that is just not needed right now. Sorry, I don't mean to be harsh, but like it hasn't been a good first impression, man.
Now, Helena says, you heard Barkley said Jalen dialed that play up on the fly, hitting Barkley with the deep throw. I thought it was a beautiful play, and I think if they can dial up plays on the fly that look that seamless, why can't our quarterback and AJ Brown dial up some?
I got to be honest. I was waiting for a play like that for the longest. I think the last time we saw a play like that was Wentz hitting Sproles. And you know what the crazy part about it? It was against the Denver Broncos.
I thought that was the Steelers.
Was it the Steelers game? I think you might be right. Yeah,
I almost cried during that play.
Sounded good.
Good. He said that with conviction. I like it. Shirley says, "Who is AJ making that statement to? Jalen, OC, or coach?"
I think anybody's listening.
Still haven't figured that one out, man. Still haven't. Now Dad says we just need the O line to get healthy and get going. Once they get going, this team will be fine.
I agree.
I mean, that,
I agree with you. I think that is at the core a major issue here. Obviously, I think that the game call, like the plays haven't been anything special, but I've seen wrinkles of good stuff in there, and I think that as we go through the season, that'll all kind of iron itself out. I think the biggest issue right now is just that offensive line health. We have that.
um,
We got time.
I also do believe that the offense, you're just trying to figure out the wrinkles. We're just talking about executing. If the players executed, Kevin Patullo and his offense would be 5-0. And I'm trying to figure out, like, because if you listen to Chris Long, he's been like hammering home that there's a problem with this team the last couple weeks, and he's saying that he's been getting beat up by Twitter universe and all that stuff. But I do feel like, when he's like, when can you start complaining? When we lose a game, or you could be 5-0, but you could still complain about. But now he's like, now can we complain because we lost one game? He's like,
he sounds like a true Eagles fan, if I'm being honest.
Speaking of true Eagles fans, shout out to everyone who made the tailgate. Obviously, a very good time. It was a packed house. Like, when I tell you, it was a packed hot house. The sun was glaring so bad that we had to turn the photo around because the sun would be in everyone's in the picture.
October, no less.
But definitely great weather. Shout out to DJ Lowski. Shout out to Ryan, who did his best. Came off the bench for Ev. We had Chris Lee and the ricotta cookies, which Chris Lee is becoming. People are asking how we can bag. Are they selling those online? So Chris, you need to get your stuff together because people are calling.
I think me and Chris make a cheesesteak shop / bakery together.
Something. Also, shout out to Crooked T, new tailgate partner. The Crooked T went pretty fast. But also shout out to Bud Light and shout out to Recover 180. Also, who people are asking, where can you get this in Philly? It's starting to grow, guys. Well, I think we're doing our job. But shout out to Red Bull for giving the tailgate wings as well. And shout out to Lowski, still out here looking like a reverend, but he set the tone for Sunday. We're not giving away game balls today, but if
he's holding back all the awards,
nobody's getting anything.
No Slurpee on the way home.
Some positives from the game that you feel like you need to get off your chest. Some positives.
I think the first half looked pretty decent, if I'm being honest with you. I mean, we were sitting in there. Dallas Goedert continues to, be a big part of the opening part of this season. I mean, that's pretty much all I got right now is the first half and Dallas Goedert. Other than that, it was kind of.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that really stood out for me was Devontae going to work. I mean, like I said, the dude comes to each game bringing 110% attitude, and the outcome is just like, he's going to play his ass off. So shout out to Smitty for holding it down. I mean, it started looking good seeing, AJ getting involved, with the attempts of balls being thrown to him and everything like that. But it's just like, man, I just don't want to go hearing that, we changed the whole game plan just for one person. Because if it's all like that, they need to 86 that shit and realize it's not a one person fucking game. It's a team game. I'm still just mind blown. Like, why did we get away from the run? Say we have the best running back in the league. He proven that out himself since last year, and the way we utilized him on Sunday was just ridiculous. I mean, it was just as bad as that bunt that was put down yesterday in the Phillies game. Like, There's the comparison. Like that's two shitty ass plays back to back days.
I mean, it's a tough scene out there, man. I mean, if you're an Eagles fan and Phillies fan, this is just three L's in a matter of
3 days.
3 days. And I don't normally get to go to these Phillies games. This is like playoff games for me is first time ever. Like shout out to Crafty John. He sold me his tickets for Monday.
Nice.
But then shout out to Jay Gleck. He hooked me up with a ticket on Saturday. And I was like, I didn't even expect to be at the game, but then I'm like, I'm here. This is great. And then for anyone who's never been to a playoff game, my first time ever, my old ass, first time ever. The amount of I was kind of shocked. I'm like, yo, they're screaming this loud for a strikeout. They're screaming this loud for someone who just got a walk and got on base. Like, why are they doing this?
And
I was like,
playoffs, man.
I was like, I texted him in and I said, it's like a fucking raven here. I'm like, everyone's just jacked up and like the energy, everything was great, except for the intensity level from the team did not match the crowd. I was like, so to catch L's like that.
Talk about another team where the superstars are coming up small.
I mean, I don't know. I guess you just want to also just go off of the fact that we're catching all these L's at one shot. So I mean, if it's what we got to go ahead and suffer to get back onto a winning streak, then I guess this is what we got to do. This is us taking the L for the team and just going with it. Like, you know what I mean? Let's get it all out of the way and get back to our winning ways.
Yeah, shout out
to
and
by the way, my bad. Hold on. By the way, I want to say I didn't take 4 L's. I took 3 L's because my Canes won. All right. My Canes pulled their weight on Saturday. So that helped me out get a little bit of relief. But all you Penn State fans out there, I don't feel for you.
I had a Penn State joke ready lined up. I said, we are proud of you, Prime. But no, shout out to Prime. We were up in the 400 section and he's like, yo, there's seats down in our section. I'm like, and I'm usually when people say, oh, there's seats in my section, you know, come on down. And then I'm like, we'll see. You know, I'm just like, we'll see. You know, and then he sends me a screenshot.
Made you proud yesterday,
huh? I was like, how the hell are we behind the dugout? And I want to get Philadelphia fans who are questioning what Philly fans are saying behind the dugout. I was clutching my pearls. I was like, I know Prime had something to say, but I mean, the shit they were saying to the players was like they could hear all of it. I heard a bunch of guys razzing Castellano. Like, I was like, he looked at me. He looked at me. He heard me, bro. And it was like I never heard Phillies get it that bad. Like I'd never been that close. So
I'll tell you what, man.
It's pretty
that game last night. It's from the broadcast. It sounded like you could hear a pin drop in that stadium. They were just dejected, and just a bunch of people I know looking at their phones and stuff. Nobody even wanted to watch that game. It was miserable last night.
Shout out to Mark. He says, "What's up, everyone? Coming into verses from the Bible." Yeah, a bunch of you guys are heathens in the comments.
Blasphemous.
Just kidding. Big Perk says thoughts on Patillo's presser. Did you see his presser today?
I didn't actually.
Did not.
Nah, I felt like
what did he have to say?
Very corporate answers. Very. And I'm not. Like I said, I'm not. I didn't hit the panic button on Patillo, but if Mike McDaniels comes available as a consultant, as a consultant, because I'd love to listen to his ideas, not listen to him in a press conference because he likes the cheaper. Sometimes he's just out there, but I think he could add some elements some ideas if they need some juice, figure some things out because he could be out of Miami very shortly. But his last presser was kind of. Did you see McDaniel's presser?
Yeah, he's kind of losing it.
I was like,
He's
bro,
checked out. He's
what is
checked out.
going on? You can't be that zooted and give a press conference.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Todd said Hollywood can't take any more tailgate time off. Is all I'm saying.
I apologize if that L's on me.
We said that.
We blamed you from the beginning, bro. Everything and anything that goes wrong today, we're all on the same page. Evan's fault.
That's fair.
Then I looked at myself. I'm like, it's my fault for not going to the game. I said I've been to every single game. I take a day off.
That's good accountability by you. We need some more of that on this team.
There was so many scenarios that you could have blamed this shit on. We had our seats. You had well, first of all, you didn't go to the game. Well, no, let's start off from the very beginning. Evan didn't show up. Gail didn't go to the game. Then we get our seats, me and the wifey, and then Frank and Rich, his brother, they sold their tickets, go to the game, and then sit all the way up in a different spot. Oh, on the Denver side. Then they come and sit next to us. They split up. That was the reason why they lost the game. The guy next to us, I ended up forcing him out of his seat. Frank took it. So, yeah, I was like, yeah, good luck trying to take your seat back from that big guy. That might have been the reason why we lost the game. I mean, it was just a lot of things. So, you know what I mean? There's a lot of reasons why we took that L that day.
Eleni said maybe it's the penalties and playing undisciplined. How about that?
We definitely got to get back to discipline.
Definitely a big part of it.
Shout out to Lenny. He came with Chris and this was his first tailgate. Nice. And I had it all chimed up, man. Lenny out here,
nice,
having the time of his life. I saw he came up to me, said, "I just called the wife at the tailgate." He said, "I think I found my people." And then I was like, that is a compliment that we will take. Like, I'm glad you had a good time. Glad you felt the vibes and felt the energy, man. I thought the energy was riding pretty high. For sure. If we could say one thing about the tailgate, it's the first time ever in the history of 4th and Jawn tailgates that someone tried to steal our cooler. I was like, and the funny thing is, as soon as that happened, it was like a SWAT team. I saw Prime go out there, then I went out there, and then I saw Big Frank, and I was like, I'll let Frank handle this. I let him take care of the backup. But I mean, again, we're trying to do some good things out here for the people. But come on, man, don't steal don't steal our cooler. I mean,
it's like you said, it was definitely a first. I blacked out. I mean, seeing my man walk away with the cooler, I blacked out. I chased him down, didn't even give him a chance to talk. I just snatched that shit back up, and I was like, what are you thinking? Oh, I thought this was free. You know what, man? Let me make something very clear. This is all free for all the fans. But why the cooler? Where the fuck you think? Where do you come off thinking the cooler was free? Like, bro, it was like you said, we had everybody was pretty much surrounding this guy, and he had an angel watching over him because that could have went south real bad.
That's insane.
Anthony says he's already flushed that goofy game against the Broncos. Helena says Smitty was her positive. Helena, she says, can we talk about AJ taking Smitty down or no?
I think they were both kind of going for the ball. I don't think he was trying to sabotage Devontae. I think they were both just going for the ball.
Not gonna take my target.
Yeah. Honestly, that was a kind of best case scenario. So, like, I think that was as good as ball that Jalen could have put up there. I'm not sure if you guys saw the NFL posted.
He was even
Jalen,
running.
he was running to try and catch like possible,
Yeah.
batted ball.
I don't ever want to. I don't want to ever hear about Jalen not hustling. Not like I've never seen a quarterback do that.
Either have I.
That's how
I
psycho
told
he
you.
is.
I told you.
Like, and he almost got there.
Yeah, he was
He almost
almost
got-
there in time. Yeah. That would have been insane if he had caught like a batted ball for the touchdown.
He says, "Sup, my brothers. We are 21-4 since October 5th of last year. Things need to get fixed, but we are still 4-1, and we're still on top. Don't sweat the petty stuff. F that loss." Also, he sent us an email back. He said he got his banner,
Hell yeah.
and now he has that in his office. And Heath, they can never take that championship away from you. Okay, you're a champion. You're a champion. You're a champion in my book. I have another one of these things, which I'll be giving away. Ev said that he has a question for you. No, I'm just kidding.
How was it ready?
Ev says he has a question for you. No, but I'll be giving another one away if you guys want to put one of those in your man cave, woman cave, whatever cave you want to put it up. But again, shout out to everybody in the comments, but also shout out to Underdog. If you're out here, Underdog, you know, it's a good thing. We have the 2017 Eagles were underdogs. But football season is in full swing, and Underdog is the best place to get in on all the action. Playing on Underdogs is easy. Just pick whether your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like rushing yards, receptions, touchdowns, and more. Get your picks right, and you can win up to 5,000 times your cash. Last week, we talked about 250 yards, higher or lower with Jalen Hurts. We said higher. He went 280. We talked about, I think, 75 yards with Devontae Smith. He broke that. What do you have? 100 plus this week?
Yeah, he had. I'll tell you in a second. He had 114.
We were also wrong on Saquon Barkley. He did not pop off this week. Only had
30 yards.
30 yards, and AJ Brown also did not hit his mark over 75 yards. But this week, I'd say Jalen Hurts over 250. I'm gonna give him 250 this week against the Giants.
I got one for you. What about Saquon Barkley carries? 15 of them.
Higher or lower? I'm gonna say
higher.
I'm gonna say higher. He's last couple games. First game against the Cowboys, 18. He had 22 versus the Chiefs, 18 versus the Rams, 19 versus the Bucks, and only 6 versus the Broncos. So I'd say higher.
What about higher or lower than 18?
I'd say higher.
Okay.
Unless the knee injury is something that we should be concerned about.
Whoa.
Oh, bro.
Huh? What?
I got to even say put it in the universe.
No. He did not practice the first day of the week this week. But he's good. He's good. They said he's going to be good to go, but I'm just saying. But anyways, make sure you download.
Punched me in the mouth for that. Sorry.
Download the app today. Sign up with promo code Jawn to score $100 in bonus funds or bonus entries when you play the first $5. That's promo code Jawn. Underdog makes picks, win money. Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia, and President State where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. Shout out to Underdog.
Yeah. Shout out Underdog.
Shout out to everybody in the comments. That Fly Jawn is saying straight up, shut up, Prime. Okay. Is that because he said something about Penn State?
Probably. I would assume. I mean, I know Prime's a big time Miami guy.
Carlos said, I don't take too much stock on the press conferences by the coaches. Most of the time, they're being politically correct, and they just want to give enough to leave them alone. Fangio's pressers are very cut and dry, and I like it. He gives you some nuggets without saying it. I think, like he doesn't candy coat anything.
No, Fangio, I think, tells it how it is for the most part.
Fangio's like the old people at the grocery store. They will tell you instantly how fresh the produce is, and they will let everyone know. Fangio's like, yeah, CB2 is a problem. It's not as fresh as CB1.
It's definitely not as fresh,
but fresh enough. I mean, Ringo has been holding his own the last 2 games.
I think that Ringo has been an improvement from Adoree Jackson for sure. Still think that there, is more to be desired there out of the CB2 position. Do you think that Howie makes a move before the trade deadline? I mean, this is something we talked about a few weeks ago. And now, I mean, if you look around the league, the trades are starting to heat up a little bit. I know that the Ravens were involved today. I think they got
Chauncey.
an edge. Or they also got Chauncey as well. But they also got an edge, or they traded away an edge.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Flacco on the move to Cincinnati.
They needed that.
They definitely needed that. They need an offensive line, but yeah, Browning stunk. Do you think Howie ends up making a move before the trade deadline?
I think he does. I mean, I think with the amount of picks that we still have left, I think there's ammunition to do so. I really just wonder. You're looking at Zadarius Smith. You're looking at Nolan Smith.
Been a beast so far. Zadarius Smith has been a godsend. Yeah,
that is one of the guys that we wanted in the offseason. We're wondering why it was taking so long. The fact that we got it means that we should be on the coaching staff. Nolan Smith. I mean, think about it. No, we could be getting Nolan Smith and the Kobe Dean back.
Yeah, that would definitely be nice.
I do think something that's not being talked about enough is how hurt Jalen Carter is.
Yeah, he's definitely dealing with something for sure. And he's also continuing to get held like every play, but neither here
Very
nor
true.
there.
A lot of holds, but shout out to Ryan. He says always a great time at your tailgate. Appreciate everything you guys do. And Lenny was saying the vibe was crazy. I mean, hey, we try our best. We try our best to make sure Eagle fans are happy. If you guys are in the area trying to do a bus trip, shout out to Philly Sports Trips. We'll be doing a bus trip from Live Casino, leaving at 1:30. Get on the bus. Have a good time. It's going to be a nice ride up the Turnpike. For all you people that are still willing to go to games. Some Eagle fans are like, I'm not going to any more games until they show me their
first loss in 20 games. Yeah. Like, come on.
The new Eagle, there is a faction of new Eagle fans.
Yeah,
right.
That comes with success, but you're able to separate the real ones from the Every successful team is going to have its bandwagon fans, Gail. You know what I mean?
Mm. Now Mark says, if you think about it, with AJ pushing him, the ball hit Smith directly in the hands. It may not have been so perfect in his hands without AJ there behind him. So he was like
there was like 14 hands right there. I mean, it was a tough ball to catch regardless.
It would have been a nice catch. No flex, but if you catch a ball over like 5 people and you come down with it, that is a great feeling.
It's got to be, yeah.
Now Dave says they need that bye week and Nick needs to shave his head.
Yes.
That is all right.
Hold him down and shave his head. That's what we need this year.
I could go with maybe we need to break out the T-shirt with it. Sirianni with his shaved head.
Yeah. I think so.
Brittany, bitch. I'm Brittany, bitch. Now, we talked about some positives. I think Keely Ringo has been holding his own. That's a positive. I know he was very targeted. I know he's going to get got in certain situations. Negatives, my son. This is highly documented. Quinyon, my son, very proud of everything he's done.
Yeah.
But this week, I mean, for heaven's sakes, he was on the lanyard this weekend. So obviously, we're feeling great about Quinyon. This is probably, I'm not gonna like he did some good things, but Cortland Sutton bodied him out.
Yeah, Cortland Sutton kind of balled, especially later in the game. I mean, I feel like he was holding them in check for most of the game, but then came that late kind of full team collapse, and that's when Cortland Sutton really started to get his.
Yeah, it's a tough scene out here. There's a lot of comments. Trying to catch up to all the comments. We appreciate you guys sending in questions and sticking with us. Adrian says, all seriousness, you guys think Howie adds another edge rusher before the deadline?
I feel like the more urgent need right now is another cornerback in the building, personally. I think that you think about Nolan Smith coming back. That's a body that's been missed. I don't know. Will you getting another edge in here?
The positive. I was also going to say Ojulari got some pressures this week. He played with some fire. I think not having Nolan Smith is definitely. I mean, Nolan Smith is a fastball off the edge. I mean, I feel like I need more Nolan Smith. We don't have a fire. I think Jalex Hunt has gotten there, got some pressures. I like it. But yeah, man. I just think this trade, something a lot of people talking about. Denzel Ward from Cleveland, 28 years old.
They're sellers right now.
Ladarius Sneed, if you're, he's been an injured player down with the Titans. He's had ups and downs of like how, what are we trying to do here? Eric says Jalen Hurts is not Mike McDaniel's type of QB. The system won't work. Well, I mean, look at the other Alabama quarterback he's working with. We don't need him as our. We don't need
him in a consulting.
We're asking you to come in here, fix some of our issues. Give us your input. I don't need him to be an OC. He's too high on his own supply. You know what that means. Mark says we need to pick up CJ. He's with the Ravens, dog. Krista says she is late to the party today. Never late to the party out here. Never late to the party here. Other things, I'm trying to think what else I needed to talk about. There's something else I need to talk about. I think AJ Dillon needs more usage.
I think he has been much better than what I was alluding to during training camp and all that. I mean, I was kind of down on him, but I feel like he has been a solid contributor this year. He was only had 2 carries, but 12 yards. So I think when he's been given the ball, he's been productive. I'm for that.
Now Red Zone says, we might as well just say this to say it with your chest hour. Red Zone says Tyler Steen is the weakest link on our line. Leonard Dickerson has been dealing with some stuff too.
Yeah, it has been.
I remember we filmed that video at the
as
at the practice slide
as well. I mean,
the weakest link.
No, I'm saying he's been dealing with issues.
Yeah, same with Cam.
Yeah, I feel like everybody's kind of on the mend with that.
Eric says we calling the lanyard jinx. Is that a thing?
It's possible. The cheesesteak. It's better than the cheesesteak jinx.
The cheesesteak jinx. Could it be? Now Eric says the way Vic likes to run his defense, I think an edge is much easier to add than a corner. The communication in his secondary needs to be locked down. And that takes time. I do think if there was somebody out there who knows the language, bring them in. Shout out to Puga. He says, so much for Red October is now officially dead October. And Evan's got a Phillies hat on, dude. You're really.
It was just sitting next to me right before we went live. To be honest with you, I wasn't proud about it. But man, it's I'll tell you what, this Phillies team, very disappointing to have star players, your highest paid players, and the continuing thing year after year is that they disappear in the playoffs. I really don't care how many home runs, how well you do during the regular season. If you piss your pants when the lights turn on in October, what's that worth? You know what I mean? Yeah, sure, but that's great. You got 56 homers this year. It's awesome. Happy for you. Hasn't had a hit in 21 at bats. Unacceptable.
It's pretty tough, man. That's pretty tough. That's very tough. Brianna says Dylan might actually have more touches this game Sunday since Saquon's knee is a little sore. Also, fun fact: shout out to AJ Dillon, and his grandfather was a great New York Giant, Tom Gatewood. If you didn't know, there's some history for you. Ray says I'm a transplant in Colorado. These fools acting like they won the Super Bowl. It's a great win for them.
To beat the Eagles, that's a good thing. You know what I mean? I would hang my hat on that if I was another team.
We saw the Falcons celebrate in their locker room like they won. It looked like a rap video. Kirk Cousins had chains on. They had a grill on. They had a great time.
When Taylor Heineke beat us that one year, was our first loss. He was feeling himself. So was that whole team.
I saw Commanders fans celebrate a win when Jalen Hurts got knocked out 6 minutes into the first quarter. I watched them roll out of the stadium. They had a great time. You know who had a great time? Late February?
Mid-February.
Eagle fans.
Yes. We had a great time.
Remember that parade we went to?
Yeah, I do. That was awesome. Great time.
Not to say they were a spoiled fan base. But for you new Eagle fans, but for the old Eagle fans who understand the wins and losses and the history of all this, we created this. I'm just kidding. The culture, the blood, sweat, and tears. I know. I just feel like it's a weird place to be in, saying we we witnessed a loss a year ago in our stadium.
I know.
It's a long time, dude.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very long time, man. But how about a say it with your chest, Ev?
I'm gonna actually have an Eagles related say it with my chest this time instead of something out of left field, and that one is the captains on this team need to be captains. You got that C on your chest,
Oh,
so act like it. I think that we need to have more of what happened today. With Saquon getting Jalen and AJ together to have these conversations. But if I'm being completely honest with you, I don't need it to be some publicity stunt either. I don't need you to publicly come out here and say we all got together, things are great now. If things are wrong, you should be able to recognize that as captains on the team. And you need to address them and you need to squash them before it reaches us, before it reaches the media and all that, just because it's going to grow legs and it's going to get uglier than it needs to. And it's going to lead to further division within the team. So the captains need to be captains and take accountability and have the conversations they need to have.
I like that, Ev. I feel like accountability is everything, because what you do in the locker room and your players see how you handle, a situation that could have been viewed by the team. Like, I know the offense coordinator. I don't know if Kevin has got bass in his voice like that to scream at AJ, but like, I'd like to see Kevin Patullo mad. I'm not saying that he can't, but I'm trying to picture it from his pressers. But I think when they put you on blast in a film room meeting session, that is the most embarrassing thing, because it's anytime a coach will put me on blast and you're on the big screen and they got the pointer out and they're like highlighting somebody who's like not hustling or not doing what they're supposed to be doing, and they know that player should be doing what they're supposed to be doing. It doesn't really like, for the fans or whatever, you could say whatever the bullshit that you want to say to your friends or on Twitter or social media, but your teammates see it. And when they know, you look at your teammate eye to eye in a huddle or whatever, or at practice, and you can't run from that. So like, whatever, all the players that have made mistakes, it's the accountability factor and letting your teammate know that, yo, I fucked up and I'm going to make it better. And that's how the team gets better. Anthony, say it with your chest, says Saquon should have stayed off the Madden cover. Damn it. Mark Bird says the mini bye week will be good for the team. I mess with that. Rat King, he says what he said.
Good luck to your shorts.
Ray says you're right about accountability. If not, AJ is going to be doing sit-ups in the driveway. Yeah.
Memories.
So the Eagles were supposed to be part of that NFC East Hard Knocks thing. I think they got some material.
I think so.
But yeah, Mark says preach, Reverend Hearn. My say with your chest is I'd say relax.
Okay.
I'd say we all
that's directed at the fan base, I assume.
I'd say the media, the fan base. It's still too early to. It's an easy cop out to just say relax, but give it a couple more weeks. If we continue to see some of our inconsistencies, then I would say be alarmed. If you didn't see any improvement over the last couple of weeks, the next couple of weeks, I'd be alarmed. You catch an L, I don't want to speak that into existence, but that would be bedlam.
As we sit here right now, how many weeks away are we potentially from people outside of the NovaCare complex with trash cans?
I say 3 more weeks. If there's,
I disagree. I think something like 4 more days if they don't win that game.
someone said, I don't want to. Are you scared of the Giants catching, another trap game? I'm like, the only thing I'm scared of is the MetLife turf.
Yeah,
That is it.
I will say
That is it.
I'm not afraid of the Giants. I think that we could beat the hell out of the Giants.
Great defensive front. I'm not
They're feisty. They're like a frisky team.
Landon Dickerson. Without Landon Dickerson, and you got Dexter Lawrence, Brett Toth, Cam Jurgens. Dexter Lawrence is going to blow up the middle of that offensive line.
You got Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau.
We got their new rookie. We are.
Oh yeah, Carter. Yeah.
You got to get.
They got their own Carter.
Man. You got to get outside. My brother comes in with his say it with your chest. He says Philly's made it worse. The city is on edge.
They're definitely not helping.
Well, we have tomorrow. But before we get out of here, just want to make a big shout out. Give a big shout out to all the people that helped out this weekend at the tailgate. You guys have a good time at the tailgates. It's because of the people that help us do this. It's a Bud Light. It's Red Bull. It's Recover 180. Staying hydrated. It's Safelli's Pizza. It's DJ Lowski, looking like a reverend. It's Crooked T in the building. It's Evan Hollywood Hearn. It's
Francelli's.
It's Francello's. I'm out here helping.
Francello.
It's Primo. It's Chris from VA.
Tim Armstrong.
Myself. It's a group of people and a group of sponsors that help put on these parties. So if you're late to the scene, we're out here.
I just figured it out, dude.
What's up?
Steve Wharton didn't get his cheesesteak first, I'm sure.
He might have.
That's the missing link right there. I don't.
I took a great photo of Steve Wharton. He wore his Wharton jersey.
Nice.
I have to send it to him. Krista says, I think the players need to relax too. Play their game, spend time together outside of NovaCare. I agree. Play the game. New Call of Duty comes out soon. Potentially hit up your friends. Let's see. Other than that, then he says, I'm trying to figure that out. Okay. Trying to make sense of that question, that answer. Oh, he said he did. He did get his cheesesteak.
Okay. I stand correct.
Stephen Wharton has raccoon hands. That guy. See, Eric.
He's gonna get his.
Eric can vouch.
I appreciate you, Eric. You making sure that the universe stays aligned.
Yeah. I mean, I once again thank you guys in the comments. Should try and be back with a preview if we can get one up before the Thursday's game. I think it's a great opportunity to rewrite the narrative for this season. One loss, we deserved it. Were we on our high horse?
Yeah, the Broncos I haven't left the high horse since February.
Kicked this off, maybe. We still putting up champion stuff.
Hey.
People wearing Super Bowl hats. I don't think. Hey, 2-2 last season. That bye came. We figured some stuff out. I would love to be a fly on the wall of what happened in that meeting. So we'll see what happens. But last word before we get at her, Evan. Last word.
So in a little personal news, I ended up having my first gig as a cheesesteak entrepreneur. So a little shameless plug here. If anybody, birthdays, any sort of parties, anything like that, if you want some cheesesteaks made, the cheesesteaks that you have at your tailgate can be at your event. Just let me know. Reach on out.
Bar mitzvahs, Evan's doing,
I did it. My first event was a 70-year-old surprise birthday party. It's a fun time, honestly. So,
a
anybody else
70-year-old.
interested, let me know. Yeah, it's a friend of a friend.
Let me know when you have the logo so we can promote it, Ev.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you have a name?
Not really yet. I was originally just like, I thought of like Evan's exit food because I wanted to kind of focus more on exit food for weddings. But I'm almost thinking that the parties is an easier route for the short term right now. Private parties.
We got to come up with an idea, a name for Evan for his cheesesteak business.
Let me know if you guys have some good ideas. I'm open ears.
I'd say
Tailgate steaks.
Whiz.
No,
Wit?
nothing with whiz. Nothing with whiz. We don't use whiz. That would be throwing the people off.
Evan's cool.
As a cheesesteak man, I'm heavily against cheese that comes from a can. I'm against it.
Will says muted. Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Go Birds. Is that your last word?
That was my last word. Yeah.
Let's see. This one is interesting, man. Like it's part, it's we do a tailgate all the time over years. We met a brother and sister from Utah. It's like their first Eagles tailgate, and they had the time of their life. His sister moved to Philly, and he was getting her acclimated to the city, and it was kind of like they were enjoying the tailgate. Over the years, they came to our tailgates. The sister actually came to our last tailgate with a photo of her brother and saying that he passed away. And it's like, usually you see a lot of people that come to our tailgates, and you're like, you remember their face, and they're like, that the history of them coming to your tailgates, it's a brother and sister thing that, like you see them, you're excited, you're back, and then she showed me the picture of her brother, and just letting me know that he passed away. She started crying, and it was just a moment at the tailgate, and then she's like, I brought his kids with me to show them the vibe and just show them what her brother was like, what he loved, and to meet his kids and just to have a moment with them. And just it's a little thing. We try to create a slice of life on the Eagles game day, but to me that touched me in a way where I was just like, you know what, there's a reason why we do some of these things, and sending love to your family. The kids were awesome. They were right up in front of the right in the front, right next to me in the photo, and it was just that made my day. So I mean, it's still that we could just provide something in a time of need. That's
that's awesome.
I mean, it's just a tailgate, but we've met a lot of really special people through this. But shout out to you guys in the comments for sticking with us. Shout out to y'all who support the brand, and shout out to all the people that continue to support. But we'll see you guys in the next one. As always, fly, Eagles, fly. Big time.